And by the way, the software I use is DaVinci Resolve 20. You can install it just from searching up DaVinci Resolve. Should be top result on Google, Blackmagic Design, and then download now. Has a free version. The studio version is the paid version, so if you're just starting, don't get that. And if y'all thinking about getting the paid version, before you look at this big number and think that's atrocious, why would I get DaVinci and not like After Effects? Well, firstly, After Effects is owned by Adobe, which is already bad news. But second of all, After Effects is a subscription of £60 a month, that's just insane. However, this is a one-time purchase of £250, which is actually way better in the grand scheme of things. And DaVinci Resolve is better than Premiere Pro, just easily, and then rivals After Effects. And the free version is great as well. This edit of mine was made in the free version entirely. This was using Runway ML for masking. Yeah, back to the rest of the video. What is up, gang? So, today I'm trying to make a tutorial. I don't know what I'm doing. I have not planned this out very much, so we're just gonna see what happens. I'm gonna be going over this effect here, which I've had some requests to explain. I'll just play this through for you now.
Let me find for you.
I'm just gonna basically explain how one goes about this. It's actually pretty simple in the grand scheme of things. Basically, what we've got here, if I just construct our backgrounds in the Fusion page, is just a black background with the other color that you want on top, and then basically masked out with a fast noise, which I've customized to just look like this, which is a mask that the colors are not too visible, and the seethe rate is how fast it changes. You can copy my settings if you want, or customize it how you wish. Same for the pixie side, in which the top layer color is just different. So that's simple. And this is where the text comes in. Which can be done with just putting a keyframe for the right on slider. If you're doing this in a different software, there'll be an equivalent, which should be pretty self-explanatory. If your software doesn't have anything like right on, it's probably buns anyways. Like CapCut. I hate CapCut. Okay, I'm gonna stop trash talking CapCut. And then here is just the VHS effect. Now, if you're using DaVinci Resolve, this is the analog damage effect. If I just reset and show off here. I use the old VHS effect, and I believe I just used default settings. Yeah, I did. And it just gives you this effect. Now, this is only with DaVinci Resolve Studio, if I recall correctly. So one workaround for this is to go to pexels.com and grab one of these VHS Overlay effects. You can choose whatever you want. These should all be free. And then you can drag it in, remove the audio. You don't want the audio. And then put that over the top of the clip. Resize it so it fits. And then go down to your composite mode and change it to screen. Not quite as good, but still, you could layer it up a few times if you want to make it more intense, I guess. However, the text won't have that duplicated to the side effect. What you could do is duplicate all your text and then scoot it over a little bit and lower the opacity, like so. You know, not quite the same, but there's free version limitations. And actually, let me show you what I actually did there. I kind of went too fast there. Basically, I just duplicated the text. I selected it all. You can hold Alt or Option if you're on Mac, and then drag it up. And then if you right click and go to New Compound Clip, which I have keybound to C, you can customize that in the keyboard menu, which is Control Alt K or Command Option K if you're on Mac. And then once I made it a compound clip, I just customized it how I wished. It's up in the inspector here, like anything else. All right, and then next up, it's the aircraft, which you can just, you mask out the background. You have your original clip, which would be something like this, which then you can get a mask for, which if you have the paid version of Resolve, you can I just go into the color tab, the magic mask, better, and then click, and then you can show what it's selecting here. Put a few points on there, Shift H to show it better, and it works pretty well most of the time, just like that. And then you can just render it, and you can just track the render, and then once you have something, you can, if you put the alpha node into the main output node, you will get this black and white effect, which if you then render in place with the right click, render in place, will give you this mask only clip. Now, the reason you do this instead of leaving it tracked onto the clip as is because DaVinci is very finicky. If you have the clip masked and tracked directly onto the clip and then split it and move it around, you'll often have to retrack the whole clip. So this is just a good way of getting around it. Once you have your mask clip, go into the color page and then drag that mask into the page. Right click, add alpha output, drag the top node into the blue, and then there you go. You have your masked out clip, and then you can move it around like I did here. That was actually the same clip that I just showcased. It's just rotated and whatnot. And if you don't have the paid version and you want to mask out videos like I've done here, you can use it's called runway.ml, and it's called AI background removal tool, which works about pretty much the same way. You just don't get as high quality for free, but it's a good starter tool. Or you can use this website for if you just want to do it with pictures and then have the pictures move around with keyframes. That works too. All right, this is me in editing. So I forgot to say that you will have your clip looking like this, which as you see, this blue line isn't here. Or like this orange line that won't be here. That's because I forgot to add, once your clip is masked out like this, you're gonna want to make it a compound clip, which I think I had said already. You can right click and do it here. I have my keybind set up, so it's quick and easy. Then you're gonna want to go to your effects, and then search for edge detect, like this, drag it on top. Then you're going to want to go to edge mask overlay, turn that on, RGB edges to grayscale edges, pick the color you want it to be for the aircraft or whatever, and then you just want to play around with the settings until you get how you get the look you want. I think I just increased the gamma quite a bit, and then the brightness, maybe. I can see what I did. Actually, it was just default settings. I don't know what I'm on about. Just different color of blue, shade of blue. Color of blue? I'm tired. But yeah, I forgot to mention that. So that's why there's a outline around these aircraft. Yeah, back to yeah. And the next up is just shakes. It's pretty basic. It's just an adjustment clip on the top layer, which in the color page has the saturation on 0 to remove the color. It also has a camera shake effect just on it. There's not much to it. Put them on the beats in the song. which you can find. Also, pro tip, if you want to find the beats easier, if you have the paid version, you can duplicate your track, go into Audio, AI Music Remixer, and you can mute everything except for the bass, or sometimes except for the drums, depending on the song. Listen to it. Right, you only hear the bass, and then go to the Fairlight page, right-click, Bounce Audio Effects, and you can just mute that one and line up with that. And then finally, this is just a watermark on top. If you want a watermark tutorial, it's pretty simple. You're gonna want to grab a text plus node, put in, grab a font you want. I use Chinese Rocks. That's the font I always for these, called Chinese Rocks. There you go. I go into the Fusion page. I add a glow, Shift Space glow, and then leave default settings. Then go shading, option 3 enabled. Then settings, top right. Put this on overlay. Then boom, that's done. Put it where you want. Yep, that's it. I'll make more tutorials for stuff later, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, as you could probably tell. Yeah, like and subscribe. I don't know. Bye.